Hey, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to the Enlightenment Moment. I appreciate you guys for coming in, watching this video. So today, this video is about attacking your problems from a different angle or a different perspective. And I want to start off by saying there is no such thing as a problem. Even though we have a lot of problems in our lives, all of our problems are up here. Anything that happens in our life is only a problem if we create it into a problem in our mind, and then it manifests more or less into our reality, and it causes stress and things like that. So nothing is actually a problem unless you say it's a problem. If you don't say it's a problem, then it's not a problem. But once you label it a problem, then it's an actual problem for you. I just want to point out Coach Hootable, who is or was, I'll say is, my striking coach for my last couple of fights. He was my striking coach. I do have a video on YouTube. I believe it's labeled Protecting Your Temple, where I did a training session with him. He's an awesome striking coach. Again, his name is Coach Hootable, Troy Hootable, from Striking Therapy. Hit him up. He's in Philadelphia, but I believe he travels in order to, meet the needs of the people. He can do Zoom calls and things like that. But back to the video. So attacking your problems from different angles or different perspectives. And I say different angles because in this video, I'm gonna talk about different angles when it comes to, again, striking, when it comes to fighting, because a problem that you have in the cage or in the ring, or when you're fighting, period, the problem is your opponent. The problem is you're trying to get either away from this person or you're trying to knock this person out. And you can do this by attacking the problem from different angles or different perspectives. Different angles when it comes to fighting, different perspectives when it comes to your mentality and the way that you think about things. So again, if you have a problem, most people are set in their ways. When we're set in our ways, we deal with multiple problems, multiple issues, the same way that we would deal with another issue or another problem. Instead, because we're set in our ways, we're used to doing it that way, we're used to getting it done. But there may be easier ways in order to get this done. If we just take a step back and start to take a different perspective on how to deal with this issue or deal with this problem. Now, in a fight, I'm trying to knock the person out. Most of the times when people are trying to knock somebody out, they're throwing all shots to the head. So if I'm trying to knock somebody out and I'm coming in, I'm used to always coming in and starting with my jab, which is a straight punch on your lead hand. Let me turn this way for you so you see. So if I'm coming in and I throw this lead punch straight to your face, if you're blocking, that's a problem. I'm trying to knock my problem out. My problem is defending. So I'm not getting through his defense. Even if I throw the straight right, I'm still not getting through his defense. So the problem is still there. But if you change your perspective, if you change your angle, even if you come this way and you throw the jab, it's a different angle from coming straight down the middle. Coming straight down the middle, he's blocking. So if this is his defense, if this is the only defense that he has, and I cut an angle, stepping over, cutting that angle, you can still see me, but this is a different angle. I'm coming in on probably a 45-degree angle, 15-degree angle. I can catch him around his guard, even if I'm still throwing the jab, which is a straight punch. And you see, so if I'm here throwing the jab and he's blocking straight up and down, I can't get to him. But even if I cut this angle and come and I'm in a southpaw stance now and throwing the jab, this is another 15-degree angle where I can catch the opponent even if it's standing, in that posture. So I relate this to problems in my life when I get into people in general, get into routine on how they deal with things, get into routine on how to deal with money issues, girlfriend and boyfriend issues, issues with your children, issues with your jobs. People get in the same routine on how to deal with these things, which sometimes you'll get angry, you'll yell, you'll scream, and then hopefully, the problem resolves itself out of, thin air. But if that doesn't work, then, you got to change your perspective. You got to step back and, excuse me, ask yourself, what can you do in order to resolve this issue in a timely manner, without it stressing you out, without it making you upset. Again, most people get upset when they have overwhelming issues. So if I was the type of fighter to always come forward and I'm knocking everybody out, at the beginning of the fight, but my opponent has this defense that I can't get through, and I'm just used to throwing these punches, then I have to learn something else. I have to take a step back, assess the situation, and attack it from a different angle. Even if I'm still straightforward, if I torque my body to the side, this creates a different angle. Even if I'm coming back up the middle, I could throw the uppercut up the middle. I could come down low to the body. Some problems are harder to take care of than others. You can't get some problems out of there. You can't knock somebody out right away. So you may have to wear them down. Again, cutting his angle, hitting him to the body just to get him to lower his hands and come back up top with the hook, come back up with the jab or a combination or things like that. And these are just boxing terms. I was an MMA fighter. I'm an MMA fighter, so we are able to use kicks, knees, and things like that. But just to keep it simple, just cutting that angle, even if you're here, cutting that angle, cutting this angle back on this side, and just working on different angles or different perspectives, even in a fight is different perspectives because you see differently. Because if I'm just straightforward right here and all I see is defense, I don't see any way to penetrate that defense. But if I cut the angle here, I see that this side is open. If I cut the angle on this side, I see that is open. Even if I cut the angle here, and I'm straightforward with you, this gives me a different line of sight because it's just a 5-degree switch from orthodox to southpaw. So again, that's a different perspective on how to handle or attack or deal with your problems or issues. In sparring, even in fights, just dealing with a problem or an issue for somebody that has good defense or good head movement. If I'm throwing punches and they're moving their head, I can't hit them. You go to the body. If they're moving their body a lot, you do something crazy like punch them in the leg, which throws people off. Go down, punch them in the knee, and then it gets them thinking, what is he going to do next time he bends down? If you bend down and they think you're going to go for the knee, you could come up with a back fist and things like that. Again, this is just attacking your problems, attacking your issues from a different angle or a different perspective. Sometimes you may approach it the same way, but the way that you handle it, the way that you talk to the issue, the way that you talk to the person that you're having an issue with, the way that you talk through your problem can be completely different than what you normally do. You may approach it the same way. I may approach every fight coming in forward, but I throw angled shots. I'm still standing forward, and that's what my opponent is used to seeing on film, or that's what people are used to having come at them, is a opponent coming forward. But when I start to throw shots, they come from different angles. So you can approach the problem, you can approach the issue the same way, but cut a different angle on the way that you talk to it. Cut a different perspective on the way that you make agreements with it. You see what I'm saying? So if you're making an agreement with a person, if you're trying to get through an uncomfortable situation, an uncomfortable conversation with a coworker or things like that, you can approach it the same way. You can have that same stern demeanor. You can have that same stern voice, but at the same time, the way that you talk to people, the words that you use, the language that you use could be different, and it will throw them off. They'll take a step back. If people are used to you cursing all the time and being, rude or ignorant, quote unquote, but you come at them with a strong demeanor, a strong tone, but you're still accommodating to them and trying to resolve the situation, then they'll take a step back and their defenses will come down. You see what I'm saying? In perspective of me going down, their defense comes down because they think I'm going low, and then you come up high And then at the end of the day, you knock the problem out. You knock the opponent out, and everything is resolved. Hopefully, you're not really knocking your problem out if it's a coworker or a friend or a family member or your mom or dad. You're not knocking them out seriously, but you're knocking the problem out, and you're getting it out of the way from cutting a different angle, a different perspective on how you normally deal with issues in your life. So again, no problem is a problem until you label it a problem. And that all starts up here about how you view the things that go on in your life. So hopefully that analogy that I gave you, it helps you take a different point of view or a different perspective, a different angle from the way that you deal with your problems. And you would take a step back from now on. If you've been having a hard time dealing with your problems, you would take a step back and find a different approach, a different angle, a different perspective on how to handle your problems on a daily basis. I appreciate you guys for coming in to the enlightenment moment, and I hope to see you guys soon. Leave a like, comment, and definitely subscribe. If you have any comments or concerns, be sure to hit me up and I'll answer those for you. Thank you. I appreciate you.